Hi, everyone. Welcome to the PoliticAL update with me, Alexandra Acker-Lyons. I pay attention to political news so you don't have to. This is the advice I give my millionaire clients, and you get it for free. It is Friday, February 6th. Hello from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. More in a minute on why I'm here. So we have a lot of news. I want to start off with candidate news. We have Q4 fundraising reports from the end of last year, finally. Big shout out to the down ballot and others who go through all the data, put it into spreadsheet form, and let people like me pour over it to draw conclusions like men are outraising women by like a lot. And it's primarily, although not exclusively, because a lot of our female candidates are in high profile primaries, whereas several male candidates like Roy Cooper and Sherrod Brown, and perhaps most notably John Ossoff, don't have primaries. But big lesson, as always, if you want more women, you have to give them primaries. We have more primaries this year than even in 2018, up and down the ballot, and candidates don't have to match dollar for dollar. Look at Angela Brooks in Maryland, who was outspent 11-1 in her primary and still won. But unfortunately, money is still the name of the game. And it is one of the ways that people can show viability. And that's particularly true for female candidates who, of course, have to do everything backwards and in high heels. It's also shocking how much money we give to really safe seats. So, on the one hand, we want to be able to give to people in safer seats in order to lift up their leadership potential. So, there are examples all over the country here, from state leds to Congress, of in particular women and people of color who are in safer seats, who would never get to leadership positions. All four of our leaders in Congress are from safe seats. But on the other hand, in Illinois 9, where we have a really competitive primary, the candidates raised nearly $5 million collectively in Q4. And in New York 12, they raised over $6 million for really, really safe seats. So I just want us to think a little more strategically about where we're putting our money, and don't just put money someplace because someone asks you to. Also, just because the candidate's well funded doesn't mean that they don't need it. So, like, John Ossoff is going to need every penny of that money, and having it early now is way more helpful than getting it in September and October. So more on that to come in the next couple of weeks as I make recommendations for where to give in Q1. And then this is old news by now because it's Friday, almost a week later, but Taylor Remmett flipped a state Senate seat in Tarrant County, Texas, by nearly 31 points. This was a seat Trump carried by 17 points. This has Republicans freaking out. In particular, the Latino vote shifted nearly 50 points. Yet another reason why we need to be expanding the map, thinking beyond just a handful of seats and a handful of states. Okay, other political news. We had a government shutdown and it was like a blip. There might be another one coming up pretty soon. Keep calling your Democratic representatives and encourage them to stand firm on requiring that we rein in ICE. The news out of Minnesota has like tamped down a little bit. Trump has said he's going to withdraw some troops. Kristi Noem has said they're going to have body cameras. Body cameras don't mean anything if we don't save the footage. So just keep calling, keep helping Democrats have a spine. The Fulton County, Georgia raid is a really big deal that also kind of feels like it just like got swept under the table a little bit. Trump saying he wants to federalize elections, like he can't really do that, but he can make things harder. And Steve Bannon saying that they're going to have ICE around the polls is a very big deal. So Resilient Elections Network, Center for Tech and Civic Life, and Fair Fight Action are all doing incredible work on this. Fair Fight in particular is based in Georgia. They have a lot of on the ground knowledge. And this is, kind of the opening salvo. So we have to fight back really hard, show that we're not going to take it, and make sure that we are prepping for all of the contingencies for Election Day. And all of those groups are doing that work now. And then just the Washington Post, it's really sad. Screw you, Jeff Bezos. And I encourage everyone to read former Washington Post reporter Ashley Parker's piece in the Atlantic. You may know many fabulous Post staff have gone to the Atlantic over the years, including my good friend Griff Whitty. So encourage you to subscribe there, subscribe to good journalism. Um, there's a lot, guys. It's heavy. Okay, expand the map. So why am I in Wyoming? Um, I am here with a bunch of amazing women and a few good men from Western states and some from national groups and national funders, talking about how we expand the map in the West through women. And some of these are deep red states where it is hard to elect any kind of non-MAGA candidate, and we're trying to do that. And these are also states where there can be some very deep misogyny. Of course, that's everywhere, but where female candidates are just facing different kinds of barriers. So, brainstorming on how we can help get more women. And we had a wonderful leader from Wyoming last night point out Wyoming was the obviously the first state to give women the right to vote. Montana was the first state to send a woman to Congress. And I did not know Colorado was the first state to elect women to the state legislature. So there is a long history of women leading in the West, and we're going to keep it going. Shout out of the week goes to my good friend Nan Whaley and the Carry As You Climb podcast. I plugged this last week too, but really encourage you to go check that out. Nan is an incredible leader, and there are many really good episodes, but I was on this week's. And then I'm also really looking forward to Woke Super Bowl and Woke pregame show. And I hope Green Day plays American Idiot because I think it'd be really funny. I'm not really like a sports person. We don't really follow a lot of sports in my house, but this is one of those monoculture moments. And I hope that the commercials are good. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye.